Guys, how's everybody doing out there? This is Wilson Feliciano from Meetings of the Minds here, reporting live from Atlanta from InvestFest. We got a special guest, Hannah, one of the biggest upcoming young entrepreneurs coming from the state of
Seattle,
Seattle.
Washington.
There you go. Being from the East Coast and then meeting up with somebody from the West Coast, to me, that brings a lot of value. How was your experience in InvestFest this year in 2023? I believe this is your first time, right?
Yeah, it's actually my first time out here. I've been to Atlanta before, but not for InvestFest. So I've heard a lot of things about it, just being in the trading community. And I was looking forward to coming last year, didn't quite make it. So this year, coming out, meeting up with other, young up and coming entrepreneurs as well as, the established ones. It's been a wonderful experience. We just came out of a recent interview with Steve Harvey, and it's very motivational to see everybody out here just eager to learn, making connections, networking, already making plans for next year. So I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be back. And like I said, just looking forward to taking all the lessons that I've applied here, some of the connections that I've made, and rolling that over into the next year.
Can you share a little bit about yourself and how was it getting into investing, and what drove you into getting into doing option calls and investing your money? What motivated you to get into that?
Well, it's a funny story. I was just investing overall. I just started out, like I said, for single mom, Seattle, Washington. Didn't have any background in finance, or really even just financial literacy in itself. I actually have an uncle who's an entrepreneur, has been for 20 plus years. He introduced me, gave me my first introduction to the stock market itself. And, this was before, COVID, 2020, market crash, all of that. And so, things that they should be teaching us in schools, but don't. Quite
really.
Frankly, just realizing that I wanted to be more financially literate than I was, and not to anybody's fault of my own. Like, we have to take accountability of our own education and just where we want to go, and the things that we want to do. But going back to my uncle, he was talking to me about just certain things in like the healthcare space, and I do believe Moderna was the first stock that he introduced me to.
Moderna has
and he actually had bought Moderna at about $20, and Moderna ran as you all know, he ran to $500 before I think he even sold. So just seeing that little
company.
bit of insight, where like, wow, you invest this little bit of money, this is your return. Obviously that's a astronomical case, but as far as options trading, I had another friend, software engineer in Bellevue, Washington, that currently traded options and introduced me to the stock market. But the reason why I was so motivated by it and just it caught my eye was just the flexibility, right? Like, you see this space where people are making a living and, becoming their own bosses and just taking control of their own financial freedom through the stock market.
Yeah.
And so that's what attracted me to stock options trading, really.
Well, listen, you know what? It sounds to me that you have the amplitude of generational wealth embedded into your mind. And, sometimes to the parents out there, that are traders, you're setting yourself up and your family for great contributions in the future, because all the money that you invest, right, is gonna replicate, right?
Absolutely.
For the people that trade options, one of the things that I would say is, or at least some of the things that I practice, is like any profits that I make from option calls, I tend to put it onto long-term stocks, right?
Same.
Would you think that that's a good method?
Absolutely. I mean, I do the same myself. Like you said, I'm a day trader personally, so those returns do come a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But any profit that I am making, aside from reinvesting, right back into my regular day trading profits, I do like to roll over into long term, as you mentioned, because long term, really, investing is a long term game, right?
Yeah.
So those long term gains are going to be what set up that generational wealth, as you mentioned. Like, I'm living off of day trading profits and taking care of what I need to do, but the long-term investing that I want to do for me and my daughter, and even my daughter's kids, if that's what she decides to do, that's going to be where the real generational wealth and like the fruits of the labor is going to come.
How important is the psychological discipline in trading, and how do you maintain it?
I tell people, I mentoring, up and coming traders now. And I tell people that honestly, the psychological aspect of trading is the most difficult part to get down. Technical analysis is the easiest. I mean, anybody can learn how to read charts, and technical analysis is, it's a it's a broad spectrum of information, but it's all the same. The
Yeah.
psychological aspect, we're all different. We all think differently. We have different trading styles. We have different psychological factors that are affecting how successful we can be at it. So the psychological factor of trading is, in my opinion, the most important, and you have to be aware of that before you even start. You know, certain habits that you may have, or
Yeah.
certain triggers that you may have, emotional behaviors that trading could bring about in you, so
Yeah.
that when it happens, and it's going to happen inevitably, you're going to have the highs and the lows every day.
Yeah.
You know, if you are going to trade consistently. So that psychological aspect of trading and learning how to navigate, you know, the different hurdles throughout it, and then also celebrating the wins that come with it. I've learned a lot about myself as just a person, a mom, a woman outside of trading.
Amen to that.
Because of, you know, the growth that I've seen in myself, just mentally, you know, emotionally, you know, learning how to handle my emotions, learning how to accept, you know, losses, because I have to accept that I can be wrong. You know, just like all
believe me. just to let you guys know, when you're trading, you got to be ready to lose money. It's not because you want to; it's just part of the structure of trading. It's part of the game. I think trading is like, if we compare it to like sports, right? You know, defense and offense, risk management, how important that is in trading.
Risk management is the key, most important factor of trading. You know, if you don't have risk management, you're not going to be successful. You get lucky. We all have beginner's luck, you know, and get lucky here and there, make a big play here and there. But if you don't have risk management to get, you know, obtain those gains and, you know, keep them, essentially, you're just not going to be a factor in this long-term game that we talked about. I know from personal experience, you know, jumping in, you know, with no experience, and then just thinking, oh, you know, I can hurry up and flip this money and do this and do that. And trading just doesn't work like that. You see all these big gains, and you see the Lambos, and you see the lifestyle, and you see the vacations, and that, you know, will come, but you can't rush the process and think that it's just going to happen overnight. So, you know, having risk management, practicing risk management is key. You know, there's no reason for you to be putting your whole portfolio into any play. I don't care how good the setup is. I don't care about any insider information you may think that you have. Anything can happen, right? And so putting all your eggs in one basket and not practicing that risk management is a quick way to just shut down the trading career forever.
You heard the professional, right? Increase that risk management, all right? Just protect your money. It's the only right thing to do, I would say.
Your capital.
Especially when you work hard for your money and you want to do the right things by it, you got to play it safe, right? Can you discuss any memorable experience or lessons learned from your trading career?
Well, bouncing off of, you know, the risk management factor, I will say that the turning point in my trading career would come from a major loss that I took actually on my birthday. I was trying to trade, you know, a highly volatile moment at a FOMC meeting. And it was actually a moment where I should have, you know, assessed the situation. I shouldn't have been trading. I was actually at my daughter's school, you know, chaperoning, you know, field trip, thinking, I can hurry up, you know, flip this money for my birthday, this and that, and, you know, being greedy, and not just taking the time to say, this is not ideal condition to be trading. You don't even have full access to charts. It's, you know, the Super Bowl of, you know, the trading year, you know, when we have federal speakers, Jerome Powell speaking. So, I took a hefty loss. I believe it was around 17,000 that day, and I spent my birthday dinner just really reflecting on risk management and, you know, how I was going to bounce back to be able to maintain my career as a trader.
I can see how you can remember that day, you know, but you know what? I think that people should be learning from their lessons. I know I have, and I'm pretty sure you have. So to be able to reflect back to those times and see how far you've come, you know, it's a blessing, I would say, right? So before we get into like the last couple of questions or whatnot, where can people find you on social media?
I'm on social media. You can currently contact me at Nova Trades, NOVA_trades. I, you know, post a lot of trading content there, but I also, you know, it's a personal page as well, and people, you know, contact me through there and see, hey, you know, I heard about you on a podcast, or, you know, I found you in this Discord group, and then I found your page and realized, like, she's, you know, a regular person. I've heard that so many times. I have an overseas
that means that you're humble.
Yeah, absolutely. I have an overseas mentee right now, all the way in Korea. You know, he's in the military, but he said, you know, I found you, and I chose you because he kept saying, you're a real person. You're a real person. I said, you know, a real person.
Yeah, I'm real. I'm for real. I'm not a doll.
You know, I see you out here with your daughter. I see why you're doing this. I see why you're helping other people. And you're just, like you said, just a humble person. And being able to relate to people, you know, through such a big platform on social media is really been just rewarding for me.
So to all the women entrepreneurs out there right now, I want you to really tune into this discussion we're having right now. You know, this is women empowerment, right? So if you see yourself getting into trading, you can learn a lot from Hannah. Tune in with her. Don't sleep on her. She's very good at what she does, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. One thing before we go, right? What aspect of investing do you appreciate the most, and what advice would you give new traders coming into the community?
There's two. I have two answers there. Whenever people ask me, just like what I enjoy most about trading, flexibility. To we all want to be our own boss, but essentially that's really what you are. You're not clocking into anybody, you're not answering to anybody, but that also means you're taking accountability for your progress, not only in the money that you're making, but just in the progress. You're constantly learning, you're constantly trying to just upgrade where you are. Am I trading better this week than I was last week, or am I reflecting and and learning from my losses, or celebrating my wins appropriately and still continuing to practice that risk management so that I can continue to grow. And you put the work in, you put the time in, and you just grind. The most lucrative
It's
thing
gonna
I
pay
feel
off.
that you can do
Yeah,
out here. And again, like, yes, the money is there, but just investing in yourself, investing in the education, investing in
that's very
the
true.
time.
It
So
makes sense. Listen, well, those are great tips. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's many that you have under your tool belt. Again, I really want to say thank you again for tuning into
yeah.
Meetings of the Minds. Everybody, you can follow us at Meetings of the Minds, double underscore Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. This is your host, Wilson Feliciano. Hannah, again, thank you very much.
Yeah,
It was
thanks
a
for
pleasure
having
meeting
me.
you.
It was a
All
pleasure
right.
meeting you as well.
Thank you. Peace.